Hi everyone, welcome to Learn with Israel YouTube channel. So today we'll be treating episode 1 for JAMB English question series. So we'll be treating episode 1, we'll start from question 1 to question 20. Let's get started. Identify the antonym of the underlined word. So we'll be identifying the antonym for question 1 and question 2. He mumbled a few words at the trial and then cried. He mumbled a few words at the trial and then cried. A shouted, B murmured, C sham, D invite. Mumbled means to murmur. So the synonym word for mumbled is murmur, but we are dealing with the antonym. So we'll go for option A. Option A. So mumbled is antonymous to shout. Question 2. James is a disco addict. He takes his studies rather lightly. He takes his studies rather lightly. A. Humorously. B. Gloomily. C. Carefully. D. Seriously. So to take something lightly is to be unserious. So the antonym word for lightly is seriously, because slightly synonym is unseriously. Let's move to question 3. It says, identify the synonym of the underlined word. The president of our club has sent his regret. The president of our club has sent his regret. A. Confusion. B. Explanation. C. Anxiety. D. Apologies. So regret means to send apology. Which makes option D the correct answer. Confusion, explanation, and anxiety are all wrong. Let's move to question 4. This also deals with synonym. We will buy this idea of introducing an entirely new product. We will buy this idea of introducing an entirely new product. A. Pay for. B. Accept. C. Trade in. D. Barter. But we are dealing with the word buy for the synonym. So if we are to look for the synonym of the word buy, we will go for accept. To buy the idea, to accept the idea. So let's move to question 5. Question 5. The story has to be taken with a grain of salt. This means that you need some salt to listen to the story. B. There is no salt in the story. C. The story is questionable. D. The story is true. So this question tells us to interpret the word with a grain of salt. So let's start from option D. Option D, the story is true. No, that's wrong. Option C, the story is questionable. Yes, that's correct. With a grain of salt, interpreting it means questionable. It means the story is not true, which is also questionable. Option B, there is no salt in the story. That's wrong. JAMB always use this kind of option to convince you guys. And option A, you need some salt to listen to the story. That's totally wrong. So let's move to question 6. All his plans fell through. A. Failed. B. Were accomplished. C. Had to be reviewed. D. Were rejected. Fell through also means unsuccessful. Failed, abortive business. So if we are to go through the option, we'll go for option A, which means failed. All his plans failed, all his plans fell through, all his plans were unsuccessful. All his plans were unsuccessful. While were accomplished, had to be reviewed, and were rejected are all wrong. Let's move to question 7. If you travel by air, you will be given an allowance to cover A. Luggages, B. Luggage, C. A baggage, D. Baggages. I know some of you guys will be confused with the option I wrote here. So let's start from option D. Baggages and luggages are wrong. They are grammatically incorrect in English language. Why a baggage is wrong to say a baggage or a luggage. The reason is because baggage is already plural. By adding a in front of it is wrong. So which makes option B the correct answer. If you travel by air, you will be given an allowance to cover luggage. Let's move to question 8. Remember, this matter is strictly dash. A, between you and I. B, among you and I. C, among you and me. D, between you and me. I know some of you guys will be confused. Let's start from option D. Between you and me is the correct answer. I know most people pick between you and I. It's totally wrong. If we are dealing with between in pronoun, we go with you and me. So let's move to the next question. Question 9. He had just entered the office, dash the telephone rang. He had just entered the office, dash the telephone rang. A, as, B, before, C, since, D, when. So let's check for the option. He had just entered the office when the telephone rang. Option C, he had just entered the office since the telephone rang. No. Option B, he had just entered the office before the telephone rang. No. Option A, he had just entered the office as the telephone rang. No. He had just entered the office when the telephone rang. So option D is the correct answer. Question 10. The man has atoned dash his sins. A, upon, B, on, C, for, D, at. Let's check it. The man has atoned at his sin. No, that's grammatically incorrect. The man has atoned for his sins. The man has atoned for his sins. That's correct. This two question is on preposition. Option B, the man has atoned on his sin. No, you cannot atone on your sin. You can only atone for your sins. Option A, the man has atoned upon his sins. No, that's grammatically incorrect. That's why it's very important to eliminate while attempting CBT question, especially for JAMB. It's very compulsory to eliminate. Let's move to question 11. He did not like dash leaving the class early. He did not like dash leaving the class early. A, we, B, us, C, our, D, ourselves. If we fit all these options into this dash box, so let's check it out. He did not like ourselves leaving the class early. That's wrong. He did not like our leaving the class early. Wrong. He did not like us leaving the class early. Wrong. He did not like we leaving the class early. That's also wrong. So what should we do? Let's clean. He did not like. Let's clean it. He did not like. So let's put any of the option here. We leaving the class early. Is that wrong? Is that correct? No. Us leaving the class early. That's also wrong. Our leaving the class early. That's the correct answer. If you want to answer this kind of question, you have to be strategic. Ourselves leaving the class early, that's also wrong. So the correct answer is our leaving the class early. So let's write it back. He did not like our leaving the class early. Let's continue. Question 12. We visited his house dash 3 times. A, like, B, for like, C, about, C, for about. So let's start from option D. We visited his house for about 3 times. Most Nigerians go for this, which is also wrong. Option C, we visited his house about 3 times. That's on probation. Option B, we visited his house for like 3 times. No, that's wrong. Option A, we visited his house like 3 times. That's also wrong. So the correct answer is we visited his house about 3 times. So let's continue. Question 13. Our principal and chairman of the occasion dash just arrived. A, as, B, having, C, have, D, as. So let's check the question well. Our principal and chairman means just one person. One person carrying 2 titles, principal and the chairman. So since principal and chairman means one person, we will go for the verb that has singular, which is as. So we can now say our principal and chairman of the occasion has just arrived. I hope you understand well. Let's move to question 14. Bimbo sings beautifully. So this question 14 is under question tag. Bimbo sings beautifully. A, isn't it? B, doesn't she? C, isn't she? D, does she? So in question tag, positive sentence follows negative tag. Why negative sentence follow positive tag? If you can check this question well, you see that this is positive sentence. Positive sentence. So if we have to look for the correct answer here, Bimbo sings beautifully. Does she? That's wrong. That's still positive. Bimbo sings beautifully. Isn't she? That's wrong. Bimbo sings beautifully. Doesn't she? Is correct. Why isn't it? Is used for things like animals. This is not used for human being. Let's continue. Question 15. Dash a good film, wasn't it? This is also a question tag. Dash a good film, wasn't it? A, it is. B, was it? C, there is. D, it was. Let's start from option D. It was a good film, wasn't it? Is correct, but let's check other option. There is a good film, wasn't it? No, that's totally wrong. Was it a good film? Wasn't it? That's incorrect. It is a good film, wasn't it? Assuming we have isn't it here, we would have go for option A. But since it is wasn't it, we'll go for option D, which is the correct answer. It was a good film, wasn't it? Question 16 says, identify the correct spelling. So this spelling, this option here is very confusing, but I will explain well to you guys. I have applied for dash on the campus and I am almost certain I shall get it. So we are looking for the correct spelling here. A, accommodation. B, accommodation. C, accommodation. D, accommodation. So how do we get the correct answer here? In spelling accommodation, we only have 2C, 2M. 2C, 2M is included. So let's check for option D. Accommodation, it has 2C, 2M. So option D is correct, but let's check other option. Option C has 2C, 1M, which is wrong. Option B has 2C, 2M, which should be correct, but it also has N. Accommodation does not have N, so which is wrong. Option A, they have 1C, 2M, which is also wrong, which makes option D the correct answer. I have applied for the accommodation on the campus and I am almost certain I shall get it. Let's continue, guys. Question 17. They dash our donation with thanks. This question is related stocking. Question 17. Question 17. They dash our donation with thanks. A, received. B, received. C, received. D, received. So this question is telling us to identify spelling. According to the option, if we have to check, the receipt is wrong. The correct answer is option C. They received our donation with thanks. Be mindful of option A and B. Avoid it. The correct answer for received is RECEIVED. And note it now so you won't make mistake when attempting this kind of question. Question 18. As he was still owing me 2 naira, I was careful not to dash him any more money. As he was still owing me 2 naira, I was careful not to dash him any more money. A, lend. B, loan. C, borrow. D, credit. So credit and loan are both wrong. So we are now left with lend and borrow. But we need to be careful in picking either lend or borrow. I will now explain the difference between lend and borrow to you guys now. Lend is the sender, while borrow is the receiver. Assuming I want to lend you money, I am the lender, while you are the borrower. I hope you understand the difference between lend and borrow now. So as regard to this question, me telling you that I am careful to lend you money is the correct answer. So as he was still owing me 2 naira, I was careful not to lend him any more money. So let's continue. Question 19. My son has just been rusticated from the university. A. Sent home to get his fees. B. Sent home for his misconduct. C. Sent home to rest. D. Sent home to become rustic. So here they are telling us to interpret the word rusticated. So viewers, interpret it. Rusticated here in the option is sent home for misconduct to get his fee. Option C, to rest and to become rustic, are all wrong. Rusticated means sent home for misconduct, which is also expelled. Question 20, which is the last question for episode 1. I am not attending, that is my wife. All these options are all conjunction. What they do is they bind 2 or more words together. I am not attending, whereas is my wife, wrong. I am not attending, neither is my wife. Let's check others. I am not attending, either is my wife. I am not attending, but is my wife. He is also wrong. Either is also wrong. So the correct answer is neither. I am not attending, neither is my wife also attending. So we've come to the end of this video. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in episode 2.